One of the central principles of the martial arts is what's called staged activation of body parts. You can see it in this reverse punch. It's moving from your large body parts, such as your hip, through to your shoulder, and your elbow, and then your arm. Now, the internal arts of China combine this staged activation of body parts with a whole body momentum, which is timing your punch so that it lands with your foot as you step. In other words, you not only have the power of the hip, but of the whole body as well.
Bang! So I'm using my body weight behind the punch. And now you can feel the more power behind the move.
However, this is actually a very difficult thing to do. I have a lot of colleagues in the martial arts who tell me that they can choose exactly where they land their punches, and some can, others can't. I've been trying to teach this particular drill for a very long time, and I know exactly how hard it is.
Give it a go. See how hard it is, because it is hard to do. 1, 2.
I'm not being at all critical of the students when I observe that they are stepping and then punching in this particular segment. This is pretty much standard for karate. It's how we've all been taught to train our punches through basics. The problem is that when you do that, you use absolutely none of the forward momentum in the punch. Your forward momentum is exhausted first, and then your punch comes second. So how can we go about teaching students who are used to stepping and punching to step and land their punch with the step? Here's a little drill that will start you off. Lunging from the front leg and punching with the leading arm. That is actually far more intuitive, particularly for the karate student. You can see from these punches that the students are having no trouble timing the punch to land exactly with the front leg. So this is where we start. The problem comes in when you want to do a reverse punch, because with the reverse punch, automatically things revert back to the old step then punch. I think it's because we're so used to punching as a 1-2, leading with the leading arm and then coming in with the reverse punch. So obviously the next stage is to lunge with the reverse punch.
You might go, what's happened to the stage activation? What has happened to the stage activation? Is it gone? Have we abandoned the idea of hip moving first and then the arm moving second? No, in fact we haven't. Never confuse that movement for everything else. We're just on we're walking on a train. Train's going and we're walking. So, you're walking on a train. Train's going 60 kilometers an hour. You're running, you're doing 10. What speed are you doing?
70.
Yeah.
Plus the Earth rotation.
Yeah, okay. Let's just take it from a relativistic perspective. Okay, so we're not just because we're going on a train doesn't mean that we're not doing the same thing. So we're now moving forward, but we're going bang, same thing as before, 1, except I'm now not getting used to the idea, like most karate could do, of 1, 2, always a reverse following. Because what's happened there is now I have just the hip. Here I have hip, body, all at the same time. And you've got to be able to choose. I'm either facing David, and I'm now going to throw a reverse punch, or I'm going to launch and use a body too. That's what we want. Let's try it.
This is a bit harder to do than the lead punch lunge, but not much harder. You can still time your front foot and the punch fairly well. So far you might be excused for wondering why this matters. It doesn't occur in kata, does it? Well, it does. You'll be surprised. Consider this sequence from Naihanchi or Teki Shodan.
Yeah. It has to be foot, arm, identical. Nothing. It has never ever been different. It's how I was taught as a white belt, and it is how it was always taught. I see a lot of schools doing this. We'll just step across. You're moving away. I've got someone heavy, and I'm dealing with someone. My arm happens to be here. I want to move. I can do that. Here. If I did this, ready, start!
In fact, timing the hand to land at exactly the same moment as the foot is ubiquitous in karate kata, and in future articles and videos I hope to give you further examples. It is only in the most basic kata that you get stepping then punching.